Why are people not meant to learn Kabbalah until they're 40 years old?
First of all, it said explicitly in the Sfarim, I saw from the Ramak. I think the Ramak writes 25. But it says in Sfarim that people should learn Kabbalah to a certain age. What people don't know, and they should know, is that Baal Shem Tov said the same thing also. Did you know that? The Baal Shem Tov said, also learn Kabbalah. It's printed in Shedish Mitzvah Tefillah, which is Derech Mitzvah in the Perek Beis, but don't learn Kabbalah. And he doesn't put a time frame on it at all. So everybody's running around learning Kabbalah, and you have all of these kashas. Those of us who learn Chassidus Chabad seem to be so involved in Kabbalah, and we disregard all of these questions and issues. I'm going to try and answer the question ideally in an optimal level. In other words, in a principled way. How it plays its avat l'poil by us, maybe I'll do afterwards or separate. But I'm just going to answer the question in a Higoyan way, if you will. You know, there's something called intelligence. Smarts. The more intelligent people, less intelligent people. A person who's more intelligent understands more. A person who's less intelligent understands less. If you have lesser intelligence, you don't have the capacity to understand deeper things. It's very simple. So if you're not bright, you just don't understand certain concepts, whether they're concepts in Gemara, Svaros of Achreinim, Nafkaminis Vishin Halachas and Rishonim, you just don't understand it. And when one doesn't understand, so they don't understand. But not understanding is personally a deficit, it's a setback, but it's not going to hurt you in terms of emunah, in terms of your real identity as a Jew. What happens if you're very smart and you understand everything, but you're a baby, you're immature? So here there's a bigger risk. Why? If you're truly intelligent and you understand an awful lot, but you don't have a sense of the responsibility of the information you have. You don't have a sense of the maturity associated with these ideas. It becomes a game. So you can be very bright, understand everything, and not have the slightest idea what you're understanding. You know, the difference between the person that comes to a doctor with a splinter and the person that comes to a doctor with a heart problem. They both went to the doctor. One is life and death, and one is a technicality. The same is true in the Yom of Yiddishkeit. Pnimiyas HaTorah, Kabbalah, deals with lofty ideas, which are hard to understand in any case. Right? The Rebbe brings out that we only have Yediyas HaMetzias, we have no Sagas HaMhus. You never really understand them directly. You only talk around them and try to visualize them and come closer to them. That's why the Rebbe says any person who learns Kabbalah is automatically Libi Deig B'Kirbi. Not that only when you're Libi Deig B'Kirbi you learn Kabbalah, but the limud itself creates the Libi Deig because you never fully understand it. But in addition to the problem of the ideas being difficult, there's the problem that you're talking about the Eibishter. And you're talking about Eibishterliness, the Eibishter's light. If someone misunderstands this, you know, it's like the difference between the Reish and the Dalet of the word Echad. It's a little piece of a letter. And it's the difference Beinei Elmas and Machrev Elmas. When you're dealing with Inyanim, they have to do with the Eibishter. And you're trying to understand, right? We're supposed to have Amunah, faith. In Pnimiyas HaTorah, you're trying to understand Yom Velakus. A misunderstanding of an idea like that is a sakana gedola b'yosef. And it's not about being smarter, it's about being deeper. Being more mature. And this is why there are these limitations. These limitations are not to ascertain, to determine intelligence. These limitations are to determine depth, wisdom, maturity. Ben Arboim Labina, you turn 40, you have a wisdom, you have a depth. So you won't only understand the ideas better, you'll understand the ideas more correctly, with the proper humility. Just like it's brought in Chassidus, that a cotton is part of more mitzvahs. A child is not obligated to do any mitzvahs, not responsible for any aved he commits. What if you have a kid who's 11 years old, and he has a mind like Einstein, or Deragachev? He's 11, he knows the whole Shas. He knows Dal Chalke Shulchan Aruch with all the Neisei Kelim. Ask him any Shaila and he can tell you the Psak. He's not Mechoyev in mitzvahs. And the Teretz says no. Why? Because he's a cotton. And a cotton is not a question of how smart he is and how much he knows. A cotton is the question of how much responsibility he has. And a cotton has no responsibility. That's why it's brought. A cotton, ein le das. A cotton has no das. He has chokhmah be no das. Das is this depth. Das is this maturity. And therefore it says also in Chassidus, cotton ein meilid. Why is cotton ein meilid? Because in order to be meilid, it says in the Torah, you have to have das. Without das, it doesn't work. So you can be very bright, and you maybe understand the concepts, but you don't understand what the concepts are about, the life of those concepts. And that's why those limitations are applied. And of course, this should set up the next question. So why are children learning Chassidus? And they're not just learning Tanya, which speaks about the Yonim of the Neshama and Yonim of Avodah, with a minimum amount of Seder Ishtasos. They're even learning Memorim, they talk about Ein Sefer, Atzilus, and Sfiris, and so on and so forth. And there's so much abuse. There's an Alter Chassidish Avot that the Rebbe Rashab, when he made Teim Chatmimim, which is really the first time young kids, relatively speaking, started learning Chassidus Chabad, the Rebbe Rashab had to apologize for Seder Ishtasos, for the butchering that they would take at the hands of these children. So the question is, Taka, why do younger people learn Chassidus? And I'll leave this for another question.